Just explain to our viewers and our listeners what this change means and how it will affect people.
Well, it's very straightforward. The energy bills are going to go up. We all see it in our bills that come through, and it's not just energy, gas, electricity, it's water and other utilities too. And yes, there are issues with global pricing, but actually a lot of this is homemade. Labour's absolute puritanical approach to net zero that is going to drive up the cost of energy for people, because guess what? If you completely rip up a system that was working and replace it with new means of generating electricity and plastering the countryside in solar panels and building all these wind farms, and then still having to import gas because they're shutting down the natural resources that sit underneath us, guess what? That costs a ton of money, and the only people that are actually going to pay that are all of us.
Well, hang on a minute.
Out there, and the energy companies aren't just going to swallow it up.
The issue here, on any day that we have an announcement like this, I think, why has nobody forward planned this? It seems to happen. You had 14 years in government to sort this out. You've done nothing to get this situation more efficient for the British consumer.
Well, look, there are many reasons that we took a real thumping last July in the general election. I think we've got to put our hands up to some of those things. But what I would say is that we had planned to open up our natural resources, new oil fields in the North Sea that Labour have shut down. Because it's common sense, isn't it, that we should use our own resources. We're still going to need gas, we're still going to need oil for years and years and decades to come. Yet what Labour's doing, which is going to force up bills for everybody, is shutting down our natural resources, not getting our own oil out of the North Sea, not using the 37 trillion cubic metres of natural gas that sits underneath our own shores, but importing it as well. And if you have to import it, well, that costs more money. That's just straightforward economics.
The Tories did have a chance, of course, Greg, to strip out the green taxes, which Ed Miliband introduced when he was in Gordon Brown's government, and they didn't.
Look, Andrew, that is a very fair point. These things are always a balancing act. Personally, my view is that those green taxes should have been stripped away. They were hurting people, particularly after the invasion of Ukraine, when we saw that horrendous spike in energy bills here at home and across the world, certainly across Europe. Yes, those green taxes should have gone away. We shouldn't have continued to punish people with those. Now that we can look at this afresh, I very much hope that we can have a more sensible approach to green taxes, to the entire net zero approach. Do we need to decarbonise? Yes, sure we do. Do we need to do it in the way that is happening right now, and particularly shutting off our own natural resources? No, we need a fresh approach.
All right.